shit crazy.
Welcome to Daily Conversation. Hope you enjoyed the show.
What up, Saul?
Chilling, King. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How
I'm
you?
blessed, man. I can't complain. Good to see you.
Always good to
For
see
sure,
you.
man. How you been? What you been up to?
Like everybody else, sitting in the crib.
So,
How about you? You staying
I'm
safe?
good, man. Staying safe. You know what I mean? Staying hydrated, keeping my hands clean, staying in the crib.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, sir.
real quick, man,
Yes,
as
sir.
the people join and jump in the room, man. I just happened to see you in the room. I said, why not chop it up with my brother? I don't know if I say the man that needs no introduction, but if you would like to introduce yourself to my audience, you know what I'm saying? Because you're one of the guys who do so much work, but you really stay true to a behind the scenes guy, where a lot of behind the scenes guys are on the scene. You go in the studio, you do what you got to do, and you kind of stay elusive, man. So please let the people know all this work that you put in, all these playlists that you on out here.
Well, for those that don't know, my name is Focus. I'm part of the Aftermath team. I've been in the game for almost 30 years now, and I've had the chance and honor of working with people from Beyoncé, Jennifer Lopez, The Game, 50 Cent, Eminem, Dr. Dre, yeah. So it's been a blessing, and even recently with Little Brother and Anderson .Paak.
Sure.
So
Such a humble guy, man. So folks, what are you working on now musically? Since I got you here, man, I know you stay in the lab. I know you stay cooking up. What you working on right now?
I'm just trying to figure out content, man. Everybody's kind of doing the same thing, just trying to figure it out from inside the house, and I see a lot of my folks doing the DJing thing, which is beautiful because they know that music can actually take you out of this horrible moment. You know what I'm saying? And it's bringing us together in such a big way. D Nice is a G for what he did. You know what I'm saying? Had the whole world rocking. Yeah. So just seeing that happen, seeing Premier and everybody do that, that's dope. I'm sure people don't want to just keep seeing me get on and make beats. So I'm just trying to figure out something that's going to add and help with
I don't know if
community,
that's necessarily true. I'm sure people would love to see you jump on and make beats, man. Have you been working on any albums, any projects, any things that obviously prior to this craziness going down, man? I know you in the studio. What you been working on, like joint wise, people wise? What you be cooking?
We just finished the Jesus is King project with Kanye. So we took the entire album and we put music behind it, and it came out really, really amazing. That should be coming out soon. And then right now, like you said, just after we finish that, the COVID-19 thing happened. So we're just all kind of on halt right now, and I've been going through my hard drive and just finding all these records that are not going to sit on my hard drive anymore, and I'm just putting out content.
I don't want to gloss over the Jesus is King thing, just because we saw the photo of Ye and Dre in the studio, and of course it got a lot of people to talking. So did you guys just kind of remix it, or is it new rhymes, new people added on, or did y'all just take what was already there and like kind of cook up more of it?
Nah, it's new rhymes, new features. Each record is an event. So if nothing else, production wise, each record feels like 5 records, so it's really, really amazing. Yeah, it's really amazing. You gotta wait till you hear who's on this album.
Nah, that's crazy, man. Is this the first time Dre and Ye and everybody work together? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Ye produced for Game, but they never got in together. So this is the first time that it happened, and it's really dope. It was really dope.
How did it come about?
I don't know. I think Dre, because only Dre really knows the full story, but I think Dre was talking in an interview, and Ye's name came up, and Ye kind of told him like, man, I'm gonna hold you to what you said, because Dre was like, yeah, I work with Kanye. So he turned around and he brought the album. We had all the acapellas and everything, so we just went full, like we went ham. Everything is, yeah. This is probably some of our best work.
I can't wait to hear that. I mean, it's a great time for creatives. I think with everybody sitting still, giving us an opportunity to tap into some other things and try some other things. Real quick, man, how did you and Dre connect? Like, kind of, what's that story?
It's funny. I was just on with Amadeus, and he asked the same question.
Amadeus, stay on my link, please.
Yeah. I was producing this kid Dax. I was working with Jason Weaver at the time, and this kid was signed to Jason's production company called Boom 2, and his name was Dax. He was from the West Coast, and I produced his whole demo, and his people shopped his demo with Dre. So Dre was interested in him, and he put us in the studio. And the first record we did together that actually got placed was Riding High for the Y soundtrack. And then that was when Dre was just bringing a new production company to light, and he was like, man, I'm just building this company, but if you down to work, there's a place for you. And I was like, I'm ready. I went into the studio that day.
That's crazy. Was Dre somebody that you always wanted to work with, or somebody you looked up to?
Dre was somebody I looked up to, but I didn't live out on the West Coast, and I wasn't really part of the West Coast until like 93, 94. So my whole thing, I was from New York. I wanted to be a part of the Bad Boy team. I wanted to be a hitman. And I told this story too. Like, I played my music for Diddy, and he put my cassette in, and the first song came on, and he swiveled his chair, walked around his desk, played basketball in the hallway, and then he left. And I was sitting in front of his desk, and my music was still playing.
What did that mean?
So it meant, I guess, I didn't make it. It means I didn't make it. I didn't make the team.
You've definitely made some cuts since then. Was it difficult for you to make the move from the East Coast to the West Coast?
Nah, I did it when I was like 21, 22. And I literally sold everything, got rid of everything, just took a bag of clothes, and I ended up out on the West Coast with at the time I had a partner. His name was D-Mac. And we were working with this group, and that's when it all started for me in like 92, 91, 92.
Absolutely. How much is the game changed, the technology changed, the way that people go about making records and producing since your start to current day?
I think that it's accessibility now. We didn't have this kind of accessibility before. We didn't even have this, you know what I'm saying? So for us to be able to do this, we couldn't do this. So it was very different. The days were longer. You had to get up earlier to go into New York and make your rounds to those labels. You had to meet with the A&R. You had to have your stuff together, and you had to, really put the foot to the pavement. And now it's just as easy as doing this or, hitting an email. So it's a very different day and age, but it's way more accessible, and I think that it makes it to where there should be no excuses. If anybody's complaining, it's because they're not trying these different arenas. And even if they're trying it and they feel like they're not getting the attention, they have to figure out how to get the attention. And that's hard. That's hard. That's the hard part.
Because it's so many people.
There's so many people, There's so many people. So what's going to make you special? And I think that's what, instead of people wanting to work hard, they want to do it easy. It's like, man, it worked for him, but he was right at the right place at the right time. So it's like, you have to work hard. This is your paying dues. What's going to make you different? What's going to make you stand out?
If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready, right?
Amen.
How much has because we worked on records together, and Focus is like an amazing, not a beat maker, but a producer, even down to the content of the music, where I was cursing in it, and obviously you work with tons and tons of artists, and profanity is a part of hip hop. How much does your faith play into the people that you work with and the way that you go about doing records?
I think that right now it's definitely faith-based, but then at the same time, it's just we as a people have a better way of articulating ourselves than just going to the easy way. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to turn around and show that you're mad by using profanity, or show what you want to do to a woman using profanity. But we have such a huge vocabulary. And even if you look at it, we've made our own Ebonic vocabulary. So why are we sitting here leaning on these words that really just degrade and tear down, when we could turn around and build up, no matter what the thought process is? So it's faith-based, yeah, but then I think 80% of it is just, I want to challenge whoever I'm working with to say it better, say it different. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody can say every curse word they want, but not everybody can put across a full idea and make me feel something. Say it better, say it different, and make me feel something.
Do you feel like lyricism is coming back? I know people always say hip hop is dead, hip hop is back, this one brought that one back. Do you feel like lyricism is coming back to the forefront of music and in the mainstream area?
Yeah, I think right now what's going on, they call it a renaissance, which is dope. I love that word because it means definite change. But these kids that are spitting, these kids are really saying something. I think that the only thing that's missing is the true substance behind it. Like, you can say a whole bunch of stuff because you read it in a book or whatever, but the people that really connect are the people that live it. And those backstories are so important. And I think that that's what's going to delegate who really is a lyricist and they stay on, who's going to be the next Nas, who's going to be the next Jigga, who's going to be the next, you know what I'm saying? Like, those people that make you feel something because you know they lived it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's dope. I love a lot of these new kids. Like, even what's my man, the Baby? I like his swag, bro. I don't know what it is. Yeah, and I believe him. So it's like, when he says something, I might not be into all his music, you know what I'm saying? But I believe him, and I know when he open up his mouth, whatever he gonna say, he gonna do. So it's like, okay, I get it, and I understand why he has such a mass appeal.
How does one get your attention? You know, so maybe somebody that's looking to work with you, or just somebody that's looking to get some feedback or some criticism on their music.
Bring something to the table, and don't come up with an empty plate and just sit at my table. You know, a lot of people just want to come for the opportunity. They think that the moment that they play me something, I'm going to play it for Dre, or they're going to get into Dre's graces or whatever. And I think that, you know, I love to be the person that I wish I met coming up in my career for other people. But I think that at the same time, they can't take advantage of that. Don't come to the table offering nothing and wanting everything. And I think that that's where the disconnect comes from. A lot of people want a bunch of stuff, but are willing to do nothing for it. And so it's just very easy for me to shut down.
That's unfortunately, that's a lot of the music industry. You know what I'm saying? People wanting something for nothing, or thinking that they're due or entitled certain opportunities that they haven't earned. Let me ask you, working with Dre, going back to Dre, now we as just fans, people who love Dr. Dre and Dr. Dre music, we've heard Detox is coming. We heard this. We heard that. Does it ever get frustrating for you working on music that doesn't come out, or, you know, like, what's that process like?
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, I think that what people fail to understand, they just think that, you know, we're blowing smoke, but we work for Dr. Dre. We work with, but for Dr. Dre. So if Dr. Dre doesn't want to put that music out, it's not coming out, and that's it. So you can blame us, you can tear us down, you can do whatever you want, but the end all be all is Dr. Dre. And I think that it came to a head for me in 2008. That's when I first kind of just parted ways, and I moved out to Atlanta, and I just sat there for 5 years. I got married. I had 3 more children. I had you know, gotten myself aligned spiritually, and I stopped drinking as much, and, you know, I just stopped a lot of things. And I think that from 2008 to 2013, when I came back, Dre and I, the conversations that we have now are so real and they're so deep that if the music doesn't come out, I don't get frustrated like I used to. The music is what I'm all about. But I'm like, I get it. He's striving for a perfection that a lot of people don't strive for. You know, they don't care. Like they don't mind mixing it in their garage and it's not properly mixed and you can't hear the words. And like we will spend time on those mixes until he's ready for them to come out. And some of them might be a little, you know, sharp or whatever, but I know like at the end of the day, you compare it to what's going on in the music industry. We definitely have levels to our stuff, and I just appreciate him for making me be better for myself.
Absolutely.
You know?
I think you hear it. You hear it in the way the music sounds. You know, for lack of a better term, when you put
Yeah.
when you A and B a Dre production or a Dre beat or a record that comes out from the Aftermath camp to other things, you can hear it's night and day in the sound. What is in the vault, Focus?
Yeah.
Something that you wish the world got. I know some shit in the vault.
I have a lot of that. I got a record with Dre and Snoop that I wish that came out. I got a record with Dre and LL.
Wow.
I got man, there's a lot of stuff, bro. And I think that one day that it'll come out. You know, one day he'll be like, you know what, open the floodgates and just let it loose. But there's so many things because the thing that I envy him, he has everything in his phone. So his phone, yeah, he has everything. Like he can go back to, I think, late 90s on his phone. So he has, like, he'll play stuff and you'll be looking like,
crazy.
He has everything in his phone, bro. So his phone, man, when we have one of them moments where he just wants to get inspired, he'll go through his phone. He has some records, bro. I
can't even imagine.
Yeah.
Anything coming new from the camp? Now, I was just with, I don't even know. Well, you letting out secrets. I'm gonna let out secrets. I was just in the studio working with Boy Wonder, and he told me about it. A lot of stuff he had on deck with Kendrick. Yeah,
that's what's up. Yeah, Kendrick and TDE are definitely more of a machine onto themselves. Yeah. So I know that Kendrick and Dre chop it up a lot. So whenever that does happen, it'll happen through Dre. But you know, right now Kendrick he's a king in his own castle, and they've been working, and he's one of my favorite MCs.
Absolutely.
So you know, I can't wait to see where he's gonna go. I think I gotta say this out loud though. I think Section 80 should have been his first album. I think Good Kid, Mad City should have been the second album, and then To Pimp a Butterfly, only because it would have showed the ascension like Andre 3000. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to get to the Equimini. You got to get to the Love Below and all that stuff. And it's like, man, he went from, his first album was Good Kid, Mad City, and he went straight to freaking, you know what I'm saying?
But, you know, and
it wasn't left, but it was more artistic than he was. And then you go to Damn, like I was just like, okay.
I love it. I love
I think
all of those bodies of work. With that being said, I think Good Kid is probably still my favorite of the three. Is absolutely a classic in my opinion. Infinite replay value, messaging, the story was told. I felt like I was riding through the West Coast. Just like the same way I felt when I would sneak off and listen to NWA as a kid, or I would sneak off and listen to Cube as a kid. It took me right back to that feeling. You know, I used to always want to come to LA because I listened to those records and I wanted to know where Crenshaw was and what the swap meet was. And, you know, when he talks to Rosecrans, I'm like, yo, I want to be in all of these places because he says it, he paints such a vivid picture.
Right. Until you go there.
then you want to get up out of there.
Then you want to get up out of there. I've been on Rosecrans, and I've been in swap meets, and I've been.
I remember.
But and also Prince Thomas Lawson. Like I used to go and see Nipsey over at his shop. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to even think about the fact that he's gone. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it took him dying the way he died for them to appreciate him and all the things that he was doing. And it's unfortunate, man. It's like, that's why I went on with Amadeus. And even for you to want to talk to me, man, I'm super honored. But it's like, we talk about each other after the fact. we celebrate each other after the fact. And it's like, man, Torae, you've been grinding, bro. You've been grinding for years. You've been a steady, consistent beast, and you show up in places. I'm like, how did he do that?
I love it.
It goes to your work ethic and it goes to your consistency, brother. And my hat's off to you. You know what I'm saying?
King. Definitely meant a lot. As soon as I saw you on, I was like, this was unplanned, unscripted, but I saw focus was on, and I said, this is a conversation that I would love to have. Dre was on recently. I believe he might have been on LL's Rock the Bells, and he was talking about a new artist that he really, really liked that he was working with. I can't remember his name right now, but is there anybody in the camp that we should be looking out for?
I think when he was on LL, he was talking about the Rock the Bells thing. He was talking about Khan.
Yeah.
And Khan is a beast, but Khan is already moving. And right now, I think that where Khan is going with his fan base and so on and so forth, he's just running forward. And right now, I think as far as hip hop is concerned, I think that right now everybody's kind of just waiting for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And we can't put something out that feels like something else. Not saying Khan does, but people have been saying like his voice is kind of similar to Kendrick, and you know, you don't want to do something like that ever. So I think that that's team. Khan is a beast. He's one of my favorites, and I love listening to his concepts and everything. And we're definitely gonna work. But I think right now, Dre is just looking for something different, bro. And whatever that is, he's gonna announce it to the world, and hopefully I'll be there, working.
Yeah, Lil Wayne. Let me scroll through some of these questions just before I let you go. I don't want to hold you up too much. It's behind you.
I'm good. Man, I'm sitting at home. I ain't doing nothing.
Nah, this hits to be crafted. My man Simon asked, focus behind you wanting to stop using the N-word. Indirectly, yes. I pay attention to the things that come out of my mouth. After Focus and I had that conversation, it stuck with me, and I always kept it in the back of my mind as I was putting together music. But really, it was my trips overseas, and I think I told the story before. My trips to Europe, jumping off stage in Germany, jumping off stage in Poland, jumping off stage in France, and being greeted with the N-word by a lot of pale faces, and not negatively, like not calling me, yo, you a nigga, but like, yo, what's up, my nigga? And it just didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. And I realized that I was part of the reason they felt comfort in using that word, because to them, it was just another word in hip hop. But without understanding all of the pain associated with that word. And as much as people say we take the power out of it or put the power into it, it was just a word that I didn't feel comfortable with having in my music anymore. And so, my last project in 2016 is the last time I used it on record, and it was really just to say that I'm not going to be using it anymore.
Torae, let's go deeper than that. Would you want me walking up to you, a word that we went through in pain, and we flipped it, and I go, yo, what's up, my slave? How you feeling?
Nah.
It's just that degrading. It's just that, like, why would I use something negative as a positive? That doesn't show strength. That doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never understood it. That was always my thing.
That, like, Pac would talk about it, and we talked it, and we flipped it, and we used the word, and Q-Tip has said it, as a term of endearment. Just for me, though, it didn't feel like that anymore. It didn't feel like that anymore, and so I moved away from it and my music. I'm still trying to get it all the way out of my conversation, but especially in my music, the stuff that I present to the world, absolutely not. Folk, let me ask you what you think about the Griselda crew. I see some people in here talking about Griselda.
Oh, I think it's dope. I think it's dope, yo. I like what it is. It feels like, for me, it feels like, I don't know how to put it better, but like the introduction of Bucktown and like Duck Down and all, like, you know what I'm saying? Like during that whole time, when it started getting real gritty for me, those were the guys that gave me the grit. And it was like, Smith and Wesson and all that stuff. So I'm loving what
I saw Mr. Walt was in here too, man. Shout out to Walt if he's still in here. One of my favorite.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
one of my
huge.
favorite people.
Oh,
One of
that's
my
what's up.
favorite producers. Ill dude. I saw something else. And
100%.
somebody says we need detox. Focus.
Y'all got to talk to Dr. Dre. I'm only a worker bee. I am not the king bee. Y'all need to stop.
Talk about some of your father's work and how it influenced hip hop.
My father was the basis for Chic. His record, Good Times, was one of the first major commercial records that hit the world, and that was Rapper's Delight. So they, you know, when I was coming up in New York and meeting people like Clark Kent and Andre Harrell and people like that in New York, when they found out who I was, they would tell me that my dad was a godfather in hip hop, which is a blessing, but it does make it to where it's very hard to exist when people know who you really are. So I had to make myself sort of an enigma. I had to exist in anonymity and prove myself by name. And that's why I called myself Focus, and I wasn't really trying to be out there and telling my backstory and all that other stuff. I was just trying to show the world that I can make music and prove to my father before he passed away that I really know how to make music, and it's not just a hobby. You know what I'm saying? But once he died in 96, I found myself from 96 until just recent that I was still trying to prove something to him. And I'm like, man, I'm literally, my whole career has been, man, I got to get this because my dad thought my music was cute. And I'm like, no, I make music.
I totally understand that. Obviously, my dad is not a legend, you know. But you know, just wanting that acceptance from your parents and that respect, you know, I think it pushed you to be a better, because like I said earlier in this conversation, not a beat maker, but a producer, somebody who understands how to put an entire record together, somebody who will vocally produce you, someone who will give you their opinion on content, lyricism, flows, and all of that. You know, it's the difference between somebody who will just email you a beat. Do you feel like, well, matter of fact, let's say this. How was your dad's opinion on hip hop and rap music?
He thought it was cool. There's actually an interview online, and I was 8 or 9 years old, and I'm sitting right next to him, and he says in there, you know, he's talking about me, and he says, you know, he's in the basement making his little rap records, and my dad had a way of supporting but being condescending at the same time, and I think that hip hop gave him a bad taste because the initial run of Rapper's Delight, they stole the whole record and didn't give them cut. So at the end of the day, he's like, man, if they turn around and they just talk on my record and they can take it from me, he was like, he didn't want to give it the respect it deserved. And then as things started going, like I said, my dad died in 96. He heard some rap records that he dug, you know, and we started to connect right before he passed away. But it is what it is. Like, I don't think he got to see how big rap was about to be. I don't think his mind was there because he started going towards rock. After he got finished with disco, he started doing, like, he did Forever Young for Rod Stewart. He did The Look of Love, or no, Smokey Sings for ABC. Like, he started going that route. And I think it's the same thing. His story is kind of correlating with yours. He went overseas and he saw what music was really doing. And it was like, why am I sitting here trying to pigeonhole myself with this one genre of music when I can hit the world? You know?
Absolutely. That's an amazing, man. That's amazing. Legendary pedigree, another legend in the making. You gave me my flowers so graciously. I definitely want to do the same. And outside of music, man, just one of my favorite people to chop it up with. A humble monster, if you will. An incredible talent. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
And just an all around great dude. Folk, thank you for jumping in, man. This has been an honor.
No problem, brother. Thank you for having me, bro.
Man,
always an honor. I'll talk to you soon.
A lot now, man. So let's link up.
Don't play with me. My stuff is right here, bro. I'm ready to work.
Oh, no,
I'm ready to work. Come on, let's go.
I was just in LA for like a little over a month, working on some stuff. So next time I'm out there, I'm gonna definitely holler at you and we're gonna get in. My brother,
Yes, sir,
I appreciate you.
Salute, man.
Stay clean out there. Wash your hands.
Well,
make sure
you
no
too.
dirt bombs around you.
All right, bro.
That shit crazy.
Welcome to Daily Conversation. Hope you enjoyed the show.